Okay. Okay. Hello, Alfonso. My first question for you today is how the hell did a Paul Schrader script land in your lap?
I'm going to disappoint you. I have no idea.
Ah, ha, 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 ha.
No, my producers, actually, I believe Paul Schrader was going to direct this, but he ended up choosing one of his other films. So he was looking for a Latino director since the movie took place in Mexico. And he enjoyed my work. He liked my work. He went with me. I felt honored. And that's how it ended up on my desk.
Wow. That's an incredible story.
It is. I mean, till today, I still pinch myself to figure out that it was true. It's like I look at this at the poster and at the credits, and I'm like, oh my God, it's true. It's true.
I've been pitching myself all day. But you've also got an incredible cast in your movie.
Yes,
There.
you do.
So what's it like to dress someone like a Ron Perlman or a Tim Roth?
Well, they're very different actors, but
Mhm.
both are amazing. They're great. Tim Roth was a great experience. I mean, he's not only an actor, but he's a director as well. So I did learn a lot from him. I love his approach to the character. From the very first meeting that we had, it was a phone call that I thought it was going to be 20 minutes. It ended up being 4 hours, talking every single line, every single character, decision, action. So it was a great immersion into his character. And one of the things that I have to applaud him is he's very focused in what we want the story to tell, how the character helps the story move forward, or which side of the story do we want to make it shine. And it was something that we worked together a lot. I mean, I worked with Tim Roth in the US. We shot all of his scenes in the US, while Ron Perlman, he flew to Mexico, which he loves. He loves Mexico City. And it was a different story. We were shooting on a sound stage, and he had so much fun with the character. He immediately clicked with Chema Yaspic, and he loved playing Mr. Sans. So it's one of those things where, you're Mexican and you're like, oh, I'm going to be working with these, legends. Obviously, you're nervous to a point that when you realize that they want the same thing as you do, make the story, packed, more complex, and in a way very digestible for the audience, and that's the role they're playing. It just, all the nervousness, goes away, and you feel like you're playing with, your friends from when you were 12 years old.
Nice. Okay, so we've established you had a legendary scriptwriter. You got a bunch of big actors in this movie, but tell genre fans specifically why they're going to enjoy this movie.
Well, they're going to enjoy this movie because it has a lot of action. It's a story of vengeance. It's a story of a man who had a strict moral code and he broke it and now has to pay the consequences. It's a story that starts in the US, and it's a road movie that comes down to Mexico, to the state of actually San Luis, in this Edward Jones Gilitla, this castle. And it's visually very attractive, great performances, and literally in the action and the revenge, I didn't pull any punches.
It's very badass.
It's very badass, and badass is sexy again. I believe so. It's like we've come back to these movies that were, that I saw in the 70s, and I was a big fan. Movies that dealt with issues that without adding a lot of makeup, to it. Just the way they are, raw, inflicting, and emotionally they move things around you.
I enjoyed the strip club scene. That was fun.
that was a lot of fun, and it's a strip club that takes place in Texas, and we were trying to make our biggest effort to make it look like strip clubs in Mexico. They're very different from the US, so it was like it was actually a restaurant where we shot that scene.
Yeah, okay.
But it was a lot of fun, and like I said, it's all about the violence, the visual violence. One of the strip clubs, my favorite was having the dancers with gunshots. It's like, it made all the sense to me, in a world of violence, visual violence, and what does that imply? Having a beautiful girl dancing around a pole with a gunshot.
Oh my. So how long did it take to shoot the movie? And what were some of the biggest obstacles for the production?
It took us 6 weeks, and one of the biggest obstacle was that the movie takes place in the U.S. and if you think of in the script, it's almost like half of it is in the U.S. and half of it's in Mexico. But how we shot 90% of the film in Mexico, so we had to make Mexico look like some parts of Texas, and I would say that was one of the hardest things to do, because you're so concerned about this is not gonna. It's not like that. It's not like that, and I still see it, I mean, hopefully we did such a good job that people won't see that, and they're wrapped within the story that they won't see those little things. But, as a director, even though, the movie's not about that, it's still that it's always the back of your head, this doesn't look like Texas, but okay.
You dress it up as best as you can, and what can you do?
Exactly, and we have such a great story that it doesn't matter if you're seeing that, then obviously the story didn't grab you.
True. So when you make a movie like this, like a gritty action movie, what's the best use of time?
I would say working with actors, having the actors really transmit the emotion you want to, because to me, all the action sequences and even though I didn't pull any punches with the action and the violence, there's a reason to it, and it's almost like to me it was Neto's urgency to find his son. It's almost like, so I'm in the middle of this fight with all these cholos. I mean, I have to be swift, quick, and to the point. And to me, that was the direction why the violence and the action sequence were directed the way they were, so I'm like, he couldn't waste any more time, torturing someone or fighting someone, he just had to get to his son.
Interesting. Okay, so were your crew collaborators from previous projects of yours, or was this a new gang?
Most of them were, and most of them, they know how to read me, and especially when you're doing such an ambitious project with very, very very little time, 6 weeks, it wasn't not enough, but, as a director, you always want more time, you want more money, more time, and everything bigger. But, I believe limits always make you more creative, so, and the Jess, or There Are No Saints is a huge example of it. But yeah, most of my collaborators, the photographer, Mateo, the production designer, Bernardo, they were really good friends, who knew what we were wanted to portray in film.
Cool. I looked at your credits and I see you've done a lot of television too, and I was wondering, would you say there's a big difference between the two mediums?
It depends who the streamer is, right? I mean, there's a few streamers that are taking a lot of risks. There's the opposite. The other side is, they're going for the same formula, the safe formula. But I feel like maybe now we're starting to go to movies again. But at least in Mexico, it's really hard to make a movie these days because everyone's making a series. But then again, I mean, I believe Paramount, for instance, taking big risks, and it's challenging storytelling, and I applaud that because it gives us a space, for filmmakers, writers, directors, to tell stories in a different way with different themes, that I believe audiences are thirsty for.
Okay, and what is your favorite Paul Schrader scripts?
Taxi Driver, by far.
Nice.
I mean, it has to be, it's like one of those films that I used to see every day. Well, not every day, once a week when I was a kid.
Oh my God. Whoa. How old were you when you saw it for the first time?
Well, I was, I didn't see it when it came out. I mean, I started watching film when I was 5 years old, 88, something like that. But I mean, at least, Paul Schrader's films and Martin Scorsese's films, that they've been my education ever since I was a kid. And so Taxi Driver, I guess I was 6 years old when I saw it for the first time.
God.
Yeah.
I've heard of this before, and it always alarms me, but it's beautiful still. It's a great movie.
It doesn't get better than a classic, to define Taxi Driver as a
Oh, yeah.
classic,
It's like what can we really say about it? Like, it's like it's kind of like the water is wet and Taxi Driver is good.
completely,
Yeah.
the tale it tells,
Mhm.
it's universal and it's never gonna be. I mean, it feels like it's relevant. It gets more relevant as we get more in 2023 and 2024. It's
Yeah.
like it gets more relevant.
It's a sacred cow for a reason.
Exactly, completely.
Alfonso, thank you very much for your time. When can people watch There Are No Saints?
There Are No Saints opening the 26th of May. It's gonna be in selected theaters, which I'm honored. You don't get to say that anymore.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be Paramount is gonna open it on demand for a few months, so you'll be able to watch it online, or you can go to the movie theater.
Okay, cool. I'll try to see it at the movie theater.
Definitely. Let me know how it goes. Thank
Okay,
you for the
thanks,
call.
buddy.
Bye.